Okay, so, no. Okay, extend this arm a little bit, and no, turn your head that way. Okay, so yes, that is the proper way to do a. Okay, you got it. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Hey. Wait, oh my God, we're recording. So hey guys, I'm community manager Darian. I'm here with forum moderator Locke.
Hey guys, great to be back.
Yeah. So what trip is this for you in Helsinki?
This is my 11th time here in Helsinki.
And we keep inviting him back, and I don't know why.
You just love Australians.
That we do. So Locke is here when we're filming the long overdue forum Q&A. And we know it's been a long time coming, which is why we specifically flew Locke out here to actually ask us the questions in person. We want to make sure that we got these answers to you in a presentable format, and we didn't want to do it just text on screen.
And keep in mind that some of these questions came out before the Town Hall 12 update, so we actually have to change some of the questions a little bit because they wouldn't make sense anymore.
And what we also want to do is, kind of answer the questions as they were before the Town Hall 12 update as well. So you kind of give an idea on why it took so long for us to film this, because so much has changed in the game.
Absolutely.
Why don't we start with question number 1? What do you got?
So, are you at Supercell happy with the 3-star rate of Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11?
Whew. Okay, so one of the things that we've been advocating for a while now is that we wanted to increase the enjoyability and success rate of Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11s. And well, since then, we've introduced Town Hall 12. And what's a new feature that we've added to Town Hall 12?
Siege machines.
Siege machines. And what advantage do they bring?
Town Hall 10s and 11s, offensive power.
Yes, so Town Hall 12s can donate siege machines, which offer some pretty amazing offensive power to whether it's clan wars or farming attacks. I mean, that does increase the chance of getting a 2-3 star attack, right?
Correct.
Are we happy with the rate now? That's still yet to be seen. We're liking that there has been an increase in the 3-star success rate at those Town Hall levels.
Right.
And that is the constant goal that we want to bring. We want to make sure that, we still want it to be challenging, but we don't want it to be impossible. And that's what we are seeing before we started increasing the offensive power, when we started like nerfing the Inferno Tower, removing the heal debuff. We wanted to bring a certain level of offensive power, increase in offensive power for those Town Hall levels.
Okay.
And we weren't seeing that success rate. I don't know what the exact percentage rates are, but I want to say, the rates of going from 3 stars in Town Hall 9s, going to Town Hall 10 dropped significantly. Then the 3 stars going from 10 to 11 were even like a quarter, if you're even 1/8 of that.
Which is where some of those career Town Hall 9s and 10s came in because people didn't want to move up.
Yeah, there was a huge paradigm shift from going from 9 to 10 and 10 to 11. And knowing that we were bringing 12, we didn't want that same kind of paradigm shift to happen where it just drops even slower or smaller.
So speaking of siege machines, are you guys happy with them at the moment in terms of cost, training time?
I would say training time and cost, yes. So they are an incredibly powerful tool. So we wanted them to be kind of slightly cost prohibitive, so people just couldn't just mass spam them. All right, here's a siege machine for you, here's a siege machine for you, here's a siege machine for you.
Yeah.
We want people to look at them like, all right, is this a moment where I actually need one, or do I just deploy my clan castle troops as normal?
Okay.
As far as train time and cost, the thing that we are looking at is the experience when you donate them.
Yes. I think you get the 1 XP.
Yeah, the 1 XP, we're looking at that.
Okay. Darian, the next question on the list. Are there any plans to show off Clash of Clans anytime soon?
Tomorrow. It's closing down tomorrow.
Well, that's annoying.
So, no, you're referring to the game itself and not the forums.
Correct. Yes.
So,
both.
So, with the forums, it's one of our primary forms of communication with the player base, and we have no plans to. In fact, as I've said on the forums, I'll have to fight tooth and nail to keep those open, or I will fight tooth and nail, and they'll have to pry them from my cold dead fingers. Like I love our community.
Right. You're very active on the forums as well.
Exactly, and I think having CMs active on the forums, I think helped reinvigorate a lot of the excitement in the game with the community. So putting that aside, the game itself. No, we've got a game that's still played by tens of millions of players around the world on a daily basis. The game's been running for 6 years, and we have goals of having it run for another 6, 10, however many more years it takes.
Right.
So as long as there are people playing our game, we're going to keep it going.
Cool.
Just look at how much content we've released this year,
Yeah.
or within the last 12 months.
Yeah.
We've got what? Clan games,
Magic
what else?
items.
Magic items,
Town Hall 12.
Build Base 8.
Yeah.
We've got Clan War Leagues coming out in the near future, and we've got some single player content we want to do, more Magic items. We have a very ambitious plan of new content that we want to release for the game, and it's pretty exciting. It's probably the most excited I've been for Clash of Clans in a long time.
Oh, that's good to know.
All right, Locke, question number 3. What do you got?
Right, Darren, this one I'm
Me.
very passionate about.
Yes.
You. Endgame for maxed out players.
Yep.
We've obviously just had Town Hall 12 come out, which was the first content in quite some time.
Yep,
for
2.5 years.
Yes, yes. Can we expect to see that at a more frequent rate coming forward?
So there's kind of multiple parts to that question. Endgame and new content. There's going to be new content for everybody, and there's going to be new content for endgame players.
Right.
So, for example, Clan War Leagues. So this is going to be something that's without going into too many details, we're not ready to spill any details on that yet, but it's largely going to be a much more skill-based system rather than just weighted matchmaking.
Okay.
So being higher town hall level is going to be much more advantageous.
Right, which fits in with what you guys were saying about encouraging players to move up in the
Yes.
Town Halls.
The Clan War Leagues was one of the reasons behind it.
Yes.
But on top of that, we're going to be doing new content regularly. We don't want to keep that 2.5-year drought. Electro Dragon was something that it's the first new troop in 2 years.
Right.
Town Hall 12 was the first new main village major content in 2.5 years. And that, we even admit that is far too long in between content. We want the interval of new content to be much more frequent. There will be a Town Hall 13. There will be a Town Hall 14, 15, and so on. As long as players are playing the game, we're going to keep coming out with new content. And not just Town Hall levels. We want more single-player content, whether that's in the form of, Goblin Village stuff, or, I don't know yet.
Right.
But we have some ideas of where we want to take the game, but we're just not ready to reveal a lot of those yet. But as far as end game exclusive content, I think you were asking.
Yeah.
Like what?
So daily challenges, for example, that
Mm-hmm.
only a maxed out Town Hall 12 can partake in.
So
And there's a leaderboard of whoever does X amount first.
clan games were kind of a testing ground for that.
Right.
When you pull a clan game challenge, a lot of them are geared towards your town hall level. So, let me rephrase that. There are different tiers of a same challenge. So, for example, one of them might be, loot X amount of dark elixir within X amount of time frame, which is much more ideal for a Town Hall 7 or Town Hall 8. And then there's one, the same loot X amount of dark elixir that's much more appropriate for a 11 or a 12.
Right.
So, obviously, the lower Town Hall level is not going to take that higher level one.
Okay. So we'll get into clouding a bit more later. But
Yes.
currently, what a lot of Town Hall 11s and 12s are facing in the clan games is actually completing a challenge because they're in the clouds for so long.
Yes, and we'll get to that. We'll
Yes.
touch on the clouding
Right.
thing later. But the reason why I mentioned the different tiers of clan game challenges was that, that was kind of our dipping our toe in to see if we can target specific challenges at specific town halls.
Okay.
Now, where it'll evolve into there, I don't know if we'll do, content that's exclusive just for endgame. As far as, like a daily quest or daily challenge that are only available to, Town Hall 11 and 12 and things like that.
Right.
We don't have anything like that in the plan, in the works.
Okay.
But going from Town Hall 12 or 11 to 12 was endgame content. Siege machines only became available for endgame content. Electro Dragons were only available to Town Hall 11s. Whatever we add for Town Hall 13, or if we add a new troop or a new hero, it's largely going to be exclusive to endgame content. So if they're looking for exclusive content, moving up is going to be something exclusive just for them. Just like, if someone says, why don't we come up with new content for Town Hall 9? What's the usual response to that?
Town Hall 10.
Town Hall 10 is all new content, isn't it?
Yes.
So if we added a Town Hall 13, if they're looking for new endgame content, upgrade to Town Hall 13 kind of thing.
So speaking of Is the Clash team concerned about the goalpost getting too far away from a new Town Hall 2 that starts and finishes the campaign?
Well, the longer we keep the game running, that's inevitable. So, which is why we've sped up the upgrade process, why we introduced magic items,
Right.
why we decreased the upgrade time, especially even recently with the heroes, and that was largely based around community feedback.
Wall costs.
Wall costs was another one. So,
Just after I finish them.
which is why I didn't upgrade my walls until after the Town Hall 12 update dropped.
Manipulating the system.
No, it's being frugal. But the more content we add, we don't want, let's say we introduce Town Hall 15, we don't want the upgrade time to be 3 weeks.
Right.
Like I believe there's going to be a cap, or at least there is a cap on how long the upgrade process is going to take. So as far as going from Town Hall 2 all the way to a certain Town Hall level, we'll have to see. If we add, let's say we're at Town Hall 20, that's a very long time to upgrade from 2 to 20. So there probably might be some speed ups along the way.
Right.
And that just depends on how the game evolves.
Okay.
But for now, we've got Book of Building, Book of Fighting, Book of Spells, Book of Everything.
Cool. Next question. When was the last time you revenged someone?
In the game?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Geez. Probably not for a long time.
Right. How does the Clash team feel about that?
We're not happy with the way the revenge mechanic works. Part of it has to do with, especially when you get to the upper echelons, just a functionality of the shield system and the online and the guard system that, it makes it impossible to do a revenge. So one of the things that we want to address is how can we improve the revenge system? Do we want it to be able to attack through a shield or guard time? We're still looking at some of those options.
No trophy gain, but double resources or something if you attack through a shield or,
That is an option. And do we want to allow it to be able to attack if they're still online? So right now, part of that shield system is what, again, it's also a symptom of what's causing the clouds as well. So we're not happy with the way the shield's preventing a lot of our own, mechanics that we like from working. Revenge is one, clouds are another. But with a revenge, you get attacked by someone and you're like, oh, I want retribution.
Yeah,
I want
in the
payback.
early game, when you can still revenge, it's the best thing. I remember
Yeah.
probably 5 years ago when I was doing it. I used to revenge every single time I could.
Yeah. But when you get to about, Town Hall 9, 10, you kind of start, can't attack that person at this time. Can't attack this person at this time. So that functionality almost feels kind of redundant and useless.
Yeah.
So it is something that, I hate to use a cliche term, we're looking into it. We don't have an ideal solution for it yet.
Right.
But it is something that it is on our quality of life list of changes that we want to improve.
Which is quite sizable.
It is a very sizable list.
Right.
So now we're on the last question. And, I think there's a question about the weather. Like, it's,
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a cloud.
well, it is rather cloudy in Helsinki today.
Comes up every time.
Of course, it does.
Clouding.
Yes.
Have you found a solution?
I think we have.
Right.
So one of the coolest things about what happened recently on the forums is that there was a big multi-100-page thread on clouding. And the Clash team has been paying really close attention to that thread, largely because, one, it's been a largely civil discussion. But the other part is that a lot of players will post their ideas of what they think should be the solution to the clouds, and other players will not necessarily criticize it, but break it down as far as how this wouldn't work. So the community's actually coming to the realization that as they're posting their ideas, okay, that won't work. Okay, that won't work. Okay, that won't work. That one's got some merits, but it won't work because of this. And so they're starting to understand that, there is no one-size-fit-all solution to this.
Right.
But they're also coming to understand how complex of a situation this actually is.
Right.
It isn't just just flip this switch, add more trophies, or let certain leagues attack other leagues. There is no one-size-fit-all silver bullet to this. A lot of it has to do with just how the fundamental game works, which is the shield system. And for anybody who isn't familiar with the clouds, how a lot of the clouds happen is there's more people attacking than there are bases available because the shield system. They've got their shield up and they can't attack through it.
Yes.
Right? So when you have let's say the Legend League, which is a much more smaller group of players who are all trying to attack with only a few bases available to attack at a time. That creates hours and hours and hours of waiting for a base to become available, and as soon as one becomes available, it's snatched up immediately. So we've got a couple solutions in mind, and one of them is showing a lot more promise, and it's changing fundamentally how Legend League works once you get to that tier. So we're not ready to discuss that, what happens when you get to that tier just yet, but we're looking at an alternative mechanic of what happens when you get to that tier.
Right.
Whether that'll be, it's not going to be head-to-head. So the way the main village is set up, head-to-head just won't work. If we were to introduce head-to-head just for Legend League, we might as well just introduce head-to-head for the entire thing.
Yeah.
And that would just, we'd have to get rid of the shield mechanic.
Radically
and that would
change how the game has been played since the beginning.
Yes, and it would be a very radical overhaul of the entire game.
Yes.
And it's not something that we're ready to do yet. I think there are other solutions that we can implement into the game to fix it before we go with that radical departure.
Okay. With this solution that you have in mind, what do you think the end result will be?
Ideally, so when you have a competitive system, like the leagues, where, the higher you climb, you want to prove that you're the best of the best. And if we're preventing players from playing, that's very counter to what a game is supposed to be, especially a competitive game. We're not making it more competitive by preventing people from playing.
Yes.
So the end goal, in a perfect world, would be able to let players play and just attack and have them find a base and just constantly keep proving how good they are. Right. And have it constantly be a competitive system where, it's people just competing and proving how good they are, how good their bases, or how good their attacks are versus how good their defenses are, and things like that. Okay. So providing that competitive outlet would be an ideal goal, and be able to play when they want. So
no clouds or minimal clouds?
Well, when you have a competitive system in place, you want to make sure that there are certain restrictions, and that, I'm not saying, we want to implement clouds, but, we need to make sure we safeguard that, people just can't, account share for 24 hours a day just to keep attacking over and over again. There has to be some kind of limitation in place so it's fair across for everybody.
Okay.
So whether that's, ensuring everybody can do 20 attacks per day, 50 attacks per day, whatever that number is going to be, I don't know yet.
Okay.
But we want to make sure that anybody who's in that top league can do the same number of attacks per day.
Interesting. Okay. And do you have a time frame in mind for when this might come out?
So we do have a roadmap that we've got kind of roughly planned out. Mm-hmm. Right now, Clan War Leagues is a top priority. That's largely going to be our next release. We've got hopefully some content later this year as well. So I think at some point on the forums, I said that after Town Hall 12, we had 1, maybe 2 more updates for this year. Mm-hmm. Clouds are going to be probably the top priority for the beginning of the year.
Right.
So whether it's going to be completed in the first quarter of the year, I don't know yet. But it's pretty much what the team is purely focusing on for the first part of 2019.
Okay.
And after that, I think we've got some Builder Hall 9. We might do Builder Hall 9 because putting up Builder Hall content is pretty easy and quick for us.
Right.
So while the programmers and engineers are working on the cloud algorithm, mm-hmm. We might put out a Builder Hall 9 because it's just all we need to do is have the artist put that in. I don't know yet. When it gets to stuff beyond this year, things are very, very malleable and fluid. We can swap things around pretty easily at this point.
Fantastic.
Indeed.
Solid.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Those were the top 5 questions from the forum Q&A. Thanks for joining us. I want to say thank you to Locke for flying all the way out here from Down Under. Yeah,
mate. No, thanks for having me. It's been really good.
It's always fun having you here.
Thank you.
So there's just one last thing to do. So, we got to make sure you know how we worked on this. So arm up, arm up, arm up. Now turn your head. All right. Freeze frame, lock dab. All right, solid.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Endgame content for maxed out players.
Yeah. What about it?
I don't know. The initial question.
Quack a smile.